when I talk about DE&I initiatives, I always talk about DE&I and B for belonging. People
Absolutely.
need to know that they truly belong. They need to know that they're a part of something that is bigger than themselves and bigger than they could possibly imagine. So the fact that you're doing this work and that your son is so much more involved in it and shared his very, very vulnerable perspective. I mean, how could that possibly make you and your bride feel? I cannot even imagine the pain.
It's so you know, there's so many emotions. One emotion I'll focus on is just how proud we are of Tommy, who has overcome so much, who has, like I said, put himself out there through the podcast, through the stuff, Strength Through Vulnerability, through the TB Kid programming. He's leading that. We're talking about moving it into the gaming area as well because of the cyberbullying within gaming, and so bringing that into that space. And our entire family has come together, including our pups, in these programs to ensure that children know that they're loved, that there is love out there, that there's, like you said, the whole. I'll tell you a quick story. So, second day of the third day of the basketball camp, I saw a father on the sidelines, and I walked over and we were talking. I was telling him about, like we just said, the build, the include, and the reflect. And he says, "That's it. Now I understand. My daughter came home after the second day, which was the include day, and she reached out to her friend and she said, 'I want you to know I felt excluded.'" And then had this, according to the father, this rich conversation with this friend about exclusion, and came to a resolution together, so that she knew that there was apologies and hugs and all this wonderful stuff. But it was, according to this father, and I truly believe it, this young girl, who I think was maybe 10, found her voice and was able to speak her voice and have that
Wow.
voice heard. And it's just, those are the things, Sharon, that just touch your heart. And you know that maybe you're making a difference.
Well, obviously a huge difference. I've always thought that bullying, especially among little kids, took place on the field, in the park, in the gym, when somebody was the last one chosen to be on a team, when they were just not as gifted, if you will, athletically as the other kids. They just didn't get chosen because they wanted to choose the kids who were the better athletes, who were going to score points for the team, who were going to make sure that they win. And so other people got excluded. That happened, and it started on the playground. And it continued through life for so many of us who were not chosen. I mean, I myself, when I think about it, I was a middle child, and I often felt as if I was an only child. Within my own family, I often felt as if I was not included in things and not included in that process. And somehow it has followed me for years, even to the point where I remember, maybe it was 5 or 6 years ago, my family was having a dinner at one of my siblings' homes, and I was going to be in Philadelphia the same weekend as one of my sisters who lives out of state. She told me about the dinner, and I said, "Oh, gee, I'd love to go, if you're having a family dinner." And the answer was, "Let me see if I can get you an invitation."
It's about loving. And I always say, with the health caring and in the bullying space, it's love in right action, meaning it's love in the action that's dictated by the evidence and the science and the right thing to do. Because in the bullying space, going back there for a moment, there are so many things we think is the right thing to do. It feels right, the right thing to do. The intention is right, but it has the exact opposite impact. And so what we want to do is, again, it can't just be all about heart. It can't just be all about mind. It has to be both coming together.